Welcome to Holme Horror. I've been waiting for you. Bloodstone Canyon. The sign for Welcome to Bloodstone Canyon appeared out of nowhere, rusted and partially hidden by desert brush. Jesse spotted it first. "This is the shortcut," he announced confidently, veering the RV off the main highway. His fiancée Claire shot him a look. "Are you sure this is safe?" she asked, staring at the endless miles of desolate red rock and scorched earth. "It's on the map," Jesse said with a grin, tapping his phone. "Just saves us a couple hours." Their friends, Marcus and Tara, lounged in the back of the RV, oblivious to Claire's unease. It was supposed to be the perfect road trip. Joshua Tree, the Grand Canyon, memories they'd laugh about years later. But as the RV rumbled deeper into the unmarked path, that laughter felt miles away. The road became rough, the gravel cracking under their wheels. The sun burned like molten glass, and there wasn't a hint of civilization in sight. Only rusted, crumbling fences and abandoned shacks whispered of a time when something had lived here. Jesse stopped the RV to check the tires. Claire stepped out, clutching a water bottle, when she heard something faint on the wind. A low, hollow sound, like crying. "Claire, you okay?" Jesse called, standing by the RV's open hood. I thought I heard someone," she murmured. Marcus and Tara climbed out to stretch their legs, sweat already glistening on their foreheads. "You're hearing ghosts, Claire," Marcus teased. "There's nobody out here." The crying sound vanished with the wind, but as Claire turned back to the RV, her eyes locked onto something in the distance. Atop a ridge, silhouetted against the sun, stood a figure, still as a stone. "Jesse," Claire hissed, "someone's watching us." Jesse followed her gaze, squinting. "I don't see anyone." The figure was gone. The RV stalled half an hour later. Jesse swore under his breath as he inspected the engine. Marcus helped while the girls sat inside, sweating in the rising heat. It wasn't long before Tara noticed something moving out the window. A dusty pickup truck, ancient and sun-bleached, rolled into view. The engine sputtered as it idled 20 yards away. "Oh, thank God," Tara said. "Maybe they can help us." But Claire's stomach knotted as the truck door opened. A man stepped out. He wore ragged overalls stained with grime, a wide-brimmed hat shielding his face. He moved slowly, deliberately, and as he neared, Claire saw his hands were red, caked in something dry and flaking. Jesse and Marcus paused as the man approached. "Hey, buddy," Jesse said, forcing a smile. "You know how far we are from the main road?" The man didn't answer. He just stared at the RV, his face still hidden beneath his hat. Then, without a word, he turned and walked back to his truck, climbing inside. "What the hell?" Marcus muttered. The pickup truck reversed. Slowly, it backed away, rolling into the desert until it disappeared behind the hills. "That was creepy," Jesse admitted, wiping his hands on his jeans. "But we're good, the engine's working again." They piled back into the RV. Claire stared at the ridge as they pulled away, an unsettling dread growing in her chest. The pickup truck was parked there, far in the distance, like it was waiting for something. Night fell fast in Bloodstone Canyon, cloaking the land in oppressive darkness. The RV had broken down again, forcing the group to walk in search of shelter. They stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin at the edge of a dry riverbed. "We'll stay here for the night," Jesse said, shining his flashlight into the rotting structure. "Better than sleeping outside." The cabin was cramped and stank of mildew, but it offered protection from the chilling desert wind. Inside, they found remnants of a life long gone. Rusted tools, shattered dishes, and walls carved with strange symbols. "This place gives me the creeps," Tara whispered. Claire scanned the carvings, symbols of teeth, bone, and fire etched deep into the wood. "These look tribal," she muttered. Marcus snorted. "Or some crazy survivalist graffiti. Let's just get some sleep." But sleep didn't come easy. The wind outside howled like a wounded animal, and every creak of the cabin felt like footsteps. In the dead of night, Claire awoke to the faint sound of laughter. She sat up, heart pounding. Across the room, Marcus stirred awake too. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. The laughter grew louder, a guttural, rasping sound that echoed through the night. It came from outside. Jesse and Tara woke, panic spreading through the group. "It's just the wind," Jesse tried to reassure them, but no one believed him. Claire crawled to the window and peered out into the dark. Lurking just beyond the riverbed were shapes. 20 or more. They stood silent and still, staring at the cabin. One of them stepped forward into the beam of moonlight. Claire stifled a scream. It was a man, or what was left of one. His face was split by a smile that looked carved into his flesh. Ragged strips of skin dangled from his chin like trophies, and his teeth were filed to jagged points. Behind him, more figures emerged, each one worse than the last. "Jesse," Claire whimpered, "we need to run." But the moment Jesse moved, something struck the cabin. The walls shook with the force of impact. The laughter outside rose into a deafening chorus. And then the door burst open. The attackers moved like animals, silent and brutal. Claire was dragged from the cabin by hands slick with blood. She kicked and screamed, but their grip was inhumanly strong. Her head spun as she was thrown into the dirt outside. Jesse's shouts echoed across the canyon, but she couldn't see him through the chaos. Fires flared to life around the cabin, casting shadows of their captors on the rock walls. It wasn't until Claire was dragged to the riverbed that she saw what lay beneath the surface. The dry riverbed wasn't dry at all. It was filled with bones. Thousands of them. Human skulls grinned from the dirt like grim monuments. In the center of it all stood the man from the truck. His hat was gone now, revealing a face burned and twisted beyond recognition. His milky eyes met Claire's as he spoke. "You don't belong here," he rasped. Claire screamed as hands forced her down to her knees. Around her, the others were dragged into the pit. Jesse, Marcus, Tara, alive but bloodied. "You're outsiders," the man continued. "Your kind ruined this land, took it from us. Now we take from you." Claire's mind reeled. "What? What are you talking about?" The man raised a rusted knife high into the air. "Blood for the canyon. Life for the earth." The others began to scream. One by one, they were slaughtered. Tara was the first. Her throat opened like a slaughtered pig. Marcus fought, but the crowd overwhelmed him, stabbing and tearing until there was nothing left but a bloody heap. Jesse looked at Claire, his face streaked with tears. "I'm sorry," he choked out as they dragged him forward. Claire turned away as Jesse's screams pierced the air. Her body trembled, bile rising in her throat as she prayed for unconsciousness. Anything to escape this nightmare. But they wouldn't let her. When they came for Claire, she fought with everything she had. Kicking, biting, clawing, but it was hopeless. She was forced onto the altar of bones, staring up at the leader's burned face. "Please," she sobbed. "Why are you doing this?" The man's grin stretched impossibly wide. "To feed the land." Then he brought the knife down. Days later, a ranger patrol found the RV. It sat abandoned on the roadside, its tires shredded and the cabin covered in dust. Inside were backpacks, phones, and wallets, like the group had vanished into thin air. Bloodstone Canyon remained untouched, its secrets buried in the dirt. And deep in the dried riverbed, the bones shifted as the earth swallowed them whole. In the silence, the faintest echo of laughter carried on the wind. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more chilling stories. And remember, be careful. I'll be watching you.